Imagine doing everything right, eating better, cutting sugar, even losing weight, and your insulin resistance still gets worse. No warning, no symptoms, just higher numbers and confusion. What if the real problem isn't what you are eating? This isn't about sleep apnea. It's not about supplements or gimmicks. And it's certainly not about sleeping more, but about how you are sleeping. Today, I am going to reveal how your sleep, yes, sleep could be quietly worsening insulin resistance, and what you must do tonight to stop it. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will understand why insulin resistance can worsen silently, which type of poor sleep is most damaging, and practical tips to fix it.
Insulin resistance develops before any obvious lab alarms, often silently, gradually impairing your cells' ability to respond to insulin. Sleep deprivation and circadian disruption have repeatedly been linked with metabolic dysfunction, including insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. In fact, controlled human studies show that even short sleep can reduce insulin sensitivity in as little as a few nights. But here's the twist. This problem doesn't just show up when you're tired. It shows up at a cellular level long before you see spikes in fasting glucose or A1C.
Let's rewind for a second to why this even happens.
Sleep is not rest. It's metabolic choreography. Most people think insulin resistance starts in the kitchen, but metabolically, it often starts in the bedroom. Now, the body's master clock deep in the brain synchronizes rhythms of hormones and glucose regulation. Peripheral clocks in your liver, muscle, pancreas, and fat tissue all dance to this beat.
Here is the problem. Poor sleep doesn't cause immediate spikes of blood sugar. It causes gradual metabolic miscommunication and disrupts this coordination and impairs insulin signaling. That means your muscles stop responding to insulin to absorbed glucose. Your liver releases glucose when it shouldn't. Your pancreas works harder quietly to secrete insulin. And your labs? They lag behind the damage. So by the time fasting glucose or A1C moves, the metabolic dysfunction is already established. But the part that surprises many people is what actually goes wrong metabolically, even before diet or exercise fail you. Let's unpack that next.
When you don't sleep well, whether due to restriction or fragmentation, stress pathways light up. Cortisol stays elevated longer, sympathetic, fight or flight, tone dominates, and insulin sensitivity drops sharply as a result. This isn't a subtle shift, as research have shown that 20% drops in insulin action after short sleep periods. Even worse, appetite hormones like ghrelin, the hunger hormone, rise, and leptin, the satiety hormone, falls, nudging you toward more food intake and derailing metabolism further. This whole process is equivalent to suddenly becoming metabolically older. Here's why. Cortisol rises earlier and stays higher. Growth hormone release drops. Muscle glucose uptake falls. Your body shifts into survival mode, not repair mode. And survival mode is insulin resistant by design.
Here is the surprising part. It's not short sleep that does the most damage. It's fragmented sleep. Waking up repeatedly. Light sleep dominance. Light sleepers, please take note. Never reaching deep or REM sleep. This is why people say, I slept 7 hours, but I am exhausted. And metabolically, That's worse than sleeping 5 solid hours. Now, I want you to imagine this. What if this sleep-driven metabolic shift wasn't just about sugar, but also about every disease that rides on insulin resistance? We will explore that in the next section.
Insulin resistance isn't just a number. It's the biochemical crossroads leading to type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, cardiovascular disease, and obesity. Fragments of sleep and circadian disruption have been shown not only to impair glucose metabolism, but also contribute to inflammation, altered lipid regulation, and increased disease risk. Even mild sleep fragmentation, and without dramatic lack, can worsen insulin action and blood sugar control. This is what makes poor sleep a silent driver of chronic disease. It doesn't shout, it tiptoes.
So, if poor sleep causes this cascade, what can we do about it? This is the part most people skip: the reversal strategy. Now, the good news. Insulin resistance from poor sleep is highly reversible. Not with pills, not with extreme diets, but with targeted sleep repair. Let me tell you a story. I had a patient who improved her A1C by just fixing her sleep rhythm. No meds added. She reset her bedtime, dimmed lights early, and woke with sunrise. Within weeks, her fasting glucose shifted downward and her energy improved.
The science supports this. Aligning sleep with circadian pattern, consistent bed and wake times, light exposure in the morning, and minimal blue light at night has shown improvements in insulin sensitivity and metabolic health. Emerging research even explores melatonin's role in supporting circadian alignment and insulin regulation, especially in night shift workers. Crucially, reversing sleep disruption also boosts resilience against associated conditions, such as fatty liver, hypertension, and chronic inflammation, because it eases hormonal stress and restores metabolic rhythms.
Okay, here are 3 non-negotiables you must lock in before executing your reversal strategy. 1. Consistent sleeping time. Same bedtime, same wake time. This resets insulin signaling faster than sleep duration alone. 2. Light control. Dark nights, bright mornings. This directly improves insulin sensitivity. 3. Pre-sleep cortisol shutdown. No late news, no emails, no scrolling prior to bed. Your pancreas listens to your nervous system. So here is the truth. You can eat well, exercise, and still lose the metabolic battle if your sleep architecture isn't optimized. But the good news? You don't need perfect sleep. You need aligned sleep. If you fix sleep, your insulin works better, your glucose stabilizes, and your metabolism stops fighting you. If you find value in this video, subscribe, because next week we are unpacking how stress hormones quietly block fat loss and what to do about them.